So now this is the stage where we need to cut the actual fabric. Here are the squares of fabric for the rose petals, the rose and the leaves. All right. I haven't ironed it yet because that's just there to stop everything curling up. This is Heat and Bond Light. That's the paper side. This is the scratchy side. So now I am just going to more or less stretch that out onto a piece of paper, and you could use a ruler, you know me, I don't. Okay, so that's ready to go and get ironed. This is the leaf bit, so again, moving down, put it more or less on the edge, just whip round. A bit of fabric. Now I need to take this to the iron and iron it on by pressing, not pushing, not scrubbing, pressing, lift, pressing, lift, pressing, lift. Okay, I'm just going to go and do that. Having pressed that now to heat and bond, the most important thing you can do is to make sure that this is cool. You need it to be cool. Okay? Then from an edge, you can lift it up, and as you will see, the heat and bond, and you can see the nice shine on that now, the glue coverage on that fabric. Alright? That's one bit ready. And then the green one, same thing. Get an edge. Ooh, doesn't want to do it for me. There we go. Get an edge. See that shine? The glue coverage is now adhered to the fabric. Get rid of those scraps of paper. Now I'm going to cut them one at a time. I'm going to cut the pink first. This is my cutting mat. I will use the top third. Oops, I don't want this to be too sticky. So I want to fit that, making sure it's parallel with the edges. Boop, 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 boop. And nicely I don't want bubbles, so I'm just going to gently pat that down. Now this is what's going to go in my silhouette machine, and as you can see at the moment, it's full across the full body, which is 8 inches by 5 inches deep. So I've got a square 8 by 5. Now we need to go back to the program, and I'll show you what I've done over there. I've opened up the file we were using yesterday, the Rose Studio file. In a lot of other cut programs, they're saved as SVG files, but this is Studio program. I can save it in that format, but I might as well save it in the format that this program particularly likes, which is its own Studio 3 file. So as with yesterday, I showed you how to strip the embroidery away from the placement line of the applique that we brought in. What I've done now is I've duplicated all the shapes, because if you remember me telling you yesterday, there's not one rose on this central panel, there are 2 roses. So I need to cut every single piece twice. I've just affixed the fabric to my cutting mat, and it turned out to be 8 by 5. Now I've managed to get everything I need in the pink on here by 7 by 4, so plenty of room. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the send menu now. I've got exactly what I want. I'm only cutting the one colour at a time, so this is just the pink, dusky pink rose. Now I will go to the material and I'll select cotton. Where is it? Thin cotton print, because it is only a thin cotton. It's not a print, but a thin cotton. It's on auto cut, auto blade cut is what I want it to do. It set that up using Cameo 4 Tool 1. It's telling me it's on 3 as a depth of cutting, 3mm. Okay, that's the length of the blade. The force is here, the speed is here, so it's not going very quickly, and the pass is 1. Now I like to be sure, so I'm going to whip that up to 2 passes, okay? Because I just want to make sure that this is nice and freely cut. Okay, so the next thing for me to do right this minute is to just load the sheet, the cutting mat, into the machine. You can see down here it says ready. This is on a Wi-Fi connection, my Cameo. So I'm just going to go and do that and press cut. Right, so I just brought this back from the cutter. I want something to put it in. I don't want to lose all these little bits. Let me just have a look around. What have I got? Oh, I've usually got a pot for it somewhere. Can't find my pot. Oh, just a moment. This will do. Little pot. Just keep them safe. So now, I need to peel up my fabric carefully. Alright. There's a little bit not caught on there. Come back to that in a moment. Just a tiny bit not caught. I don't know why, a tiny bit not caught there. So I'll just really ought to snip that with a pair of scissors, but I will in a minute. Drop that in there. Where's the other one I had? There he is. It's just a tiny nick not caught. Now I know that looks like, oh, that's awful. But when you get a little pair of sharp scissors, remember this is all going to be stitched down. I can just cut off that wayward couple of strands. See what I'm doing? Cut those little wayward strands. Carry on. What else have I got? Nothing. Okay, so that's my leftover. So now, pull up my lovely cut shapes. It's got the sticky already on it. And put all my bits this is a fairly new mat, so it's quite sticky at the moment. I don't want to lose my glue. So these are all my pieces. And put them in the pot because, as you can see, they'll be very easy to lose, won't they? Until I'm ready for it to go down once I'm hooped up and started to do the embroidery. So now the green piece, I'm going to look at this on here, pop it on the same place on the top line, and I've got, this one is coming over just over 7 inches and just under that, just, well, 5.5. So it's about 7 inches by 5.5. So now I'll go back to my screen and put the leaves on to fit in that space. So now I'm back in my Studio Designer. I am going to get, I already grouped this together. So I can move this all in one go. And this time I think I'll put it over here out of the way, as long as it's off the mat, right? Previous to this, these were the leaf elements, which I've grouped into sections. Again, I have to duplicate these, because remember there are 2 roses, all right? So, this may be a bit more difficult to fit on, but on your mat, you can turn anything around, because it's plain fabric that we're using. So I can turn elements, just move them around so that they fit. Yeah, as long as they're not touching, they will get cut. And they won't interfere with any other piece. So what did I say? I had about 5.5, didn't I? I just turn that slightly. Yeah, and I think then I can bring that up. And this is what you do. Yeah, I said I had about 5.5, so that will cover it. You could go up a little closer, just to be sure. Yep. I've got all the elements on here now, haven't I? Yeah, because I only had a maximum of 7 inches across. So let's be careful. Yeah. So if I move that one out of the way at the moment, I could move, and I'll twist this one around a bit. There, I can move that up closer now. Yeah. And that element can flip into there, because there's 5.5. So I got plenty of fabric. There's the 7-inch line. So we're all fitted on now. All a go-go. And I've got that duplicated there. I've got that duplicated there. And that duplicated there. Right, okay. So again, I can go to Send. Now, Fabrics in Print. Auto Cut, Auto Blade, Cut 3, Passes 2. And I'm ready to send it. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back to you and you'll see then all my elements of fabric will be in that little plastic pot you saw just now and ready to go for when I'm hooped up and we start the embroidery. Righty-ho, I'm back from cutting out the leaves, hopefully. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's got the hang of it now. Perhaps my machine needed a bit of a warm-up last time. So there, so that's what I'm left with of the green and the pink. I won't throw this away just yet, in case, I don't like to throw away perfectly prepared fabric unless there's nothing left, because I'm just may need a tiny little element of it, because I haven't done the centre of the Peter Rabbit yet, so I might need a little bit of bob. So as you can see now, tiny little bits, and this is why I put it in a dish, so that I don't lose it. I'm just going to get out some of my pink and put the leaves in, because I know I don't want the leaves until after I finish with the pink. but perfectly cut with the adhesion, perfectly cut leaves. And you might think to yourself, well, no, I'm all right. I do it with my pencil, my light pad, my scissors. I draw around there. Yeah, well, they don't look like this, do they? These are absolutely perfect. Oh, and I don't know if I said on the last video, but whenever I bring in, first of all, I scan the page to PDF. Then I bring the PDF in and I crop out the bit that I want to work on. Nowhere along the line do I change the scale. It's all at 100%. So if something gone terribly wrong, my cutter had broken down and I had to go and cut these by hand from the picture in the magazine, it would still fit my embroidery because it's all still at 100%. Alright, so those are my bits now, ready for applique. This is as far as I could go tonight. I hope this has given you a bit of interest, and more to follow.